Everyone, this is Kara from Ascadenia Designs, and today I will be discussing the newly designed NAMCC's e-newsletter. It was designed in Mailchimp. First, I'd like to discuss some of the reasons why design companies are contacted in the first place. We're contacted because there are problems that needs to be resolved. So first, without further ado, we need to do some comparisons here. Let's go and check out the older version. Okay, this is the old version of the newsletter. The colors are a little bright and the design is not as pleasing to the eyes. It's not really organized. There's a lot of different sizes and it's just really busy. This part right here also needed to be redesigned. The logo was pixelated, so that's not good. And one important factor of every design has to be color, and also, can I see this on my smartphone? So let me just show you how this would look on a smartphone. Okay, as you see, you can't really see everything. The design is all off. Like, this is the actual masthead or header, and it's completely clipped off. So this design is not responsive. Responsive design gives you the privilege of seeing this almost like you would be viewing it online, but it will be condensed and everything will be organized a little different, but at least you would have a good experience of reading the newsletter online. And as you see, none of this can be really read because everything is going out of the screen. This is how it would look in the inbox. It's not coming up, so we'll just look at the desktop version. This is the desktop version of how this would look. But as you see, like I said, there's not really a distinction between the newsletter and the background. Everything is the same color. And then some problems come in when you're trying to do important things like the funeral services. It's very small. And this right here, the Friday lunch, this is just not appealing. So all of these things needed to be addressed in the new design. And let me show you the new design again. Okay, so what we did is we completely designed a masthead. Maybe I'm using newspaper terminology, but you get the point. So everything had to be redesigned. The board wanted something that looked Islamic, looked nice, pleasing to the eyes. We went back and forth on the colors, but the colors of the actual design had to be in sync with the newsletter itself. And the tiles and everything, like I said, it had to all be in synergy. So I thought that this design was a really good, fresh start for them. The great thing about the design is how easy it is to replace things in Mailchimp. Now, this part wasn't as easy. This is the Friday Juma schedule. I'll go and show you again how it looked here. See, this was the Friday schedule. You really couldn't see it very well. It's the colors and everything were off. You really didn't get a lot of information. So this part had to be redesigned. But see, the other problem that we have is, how do we do this where anyone can change this and it'll still look the same each week? See, that's the problem. A lot of times people that are not too experienced in designs, they might have their own take, but it's not really working with the master plan. This is the master plan. So if you put some other design in here one week and then you have another design the next week, it won't look professional. It'll look like, there's chaos in the house. So what we needed to do was figure out a way where this could look the same each week. Uh, Other people can have easy access to change the times, because each week there would be a different person doing the kutbahs. There would be different themes of each kutbahs. So, and even the times could change. So we needed to make sure. I just noticed that these times are all the same, so that definitely has to be changed too. So what we needed to do was to find a way where people that are not designers could just get in there, change the schedule times without an issue. So let me show you the results. So this is what we did. We came up with a way to do this in Google. So anyone could have access to this that had a need to know, and they can just come in here and change these prayer schedules. Like, okay, let's say this is at 2:30. I could just come in here and change this. How about if this was at 3 o'clock? I can, oops, change this to 3. And then what I would do was I would download this as a PNG file. And then I would upload it to this. So let me just press this right here. And then you can see this side. I would just replace it. Like, this is going to change each week, so this would be replaced with the new one. What's important is to make sure that you design it in the right dimensions. So let's go back to that again. See, the dimensions can be found. Let me see, is it the page setup? Yeah. Okay, we usually work with pixels. So this is where we would change the dimensions, because slides are usually a whole different orientation than this. And most people would not use slides in this fashion to design something like this, but I figured out a way to do it and customize it, download it, make it really easy. Okay, here is another slide. This one is of the weekly lunch schedule. This can also be changed. All we needed to do is just highlight that and change it and go through the same process. And then when we go to the slide, it would just be a matter of us uploading by replacing this. Again, you should keep in mind the dimensions, because everything should be within these borders. Okay, another issue we discussed earlier was the responsiveness of the design. But let me just let you see the design and some of the elements. Here are some banners right here. Easily can be added. Again, we have to always keep in mind the dimensions. It can easily be replaced. This could be a JPEG, or it could be a PNG file. I prefer the PNG because you can actually make this a larger file without a background, pop it in, and it looks good, because everything should look good. Like this actual design has some white in it, but we don't want the whole area to be white. We only want the design itself to be white so it can be distinguished from the background. And that was the important part that the original design didn't get. See, everything is kind of like coming into the background, so there's no hierarchy here. Nothing is really striking me as being very important. Everything is just kind of put together, and that's not the way you're going to get good readership by these kind of designs. You really need the design to be very focused, very organized. Here's the hadith of the week. And let's go and see the hadith. Did they have the hadith, or did we add this part? I think that's a new feature. So that part was added. So here we go with the other elements. And then we have the useful links. I suggested the useful links because it just takes away all the clutter. Because otherwise, you have so much things going on, and no one would read it. They would just really not want to read it at all. And then the footer. The footer is extremely important because it reiterates the most important details, like how do you contact us, how do you unsubscribe if you want to, if you wanted to update your subscription. There's social media icons here, and the website address. And some of the things here are requirements from Mailchimp, and other things you can just add on yourself. I don't remember if this one had a footer or not. That was design. So this one is the previous footer. Some of it is cutting off, but this pretty much, see how it looks right here? Mailchimp would add in all the information on this one. So another thing you want to watch out for are fonts. You have to select a font and go with it. You can't have different fonts. And for God's sakes, please don't use Roman Times. It's very old and dated, and it doesn't really look professional at all, and it's not really easy to read. So we will go back to the original one. And let's look at it on the mobile device. This is how it would look on your desktop, and this is how it would look on your cell phone. See how everything is organized automatically? This is called responsiveness. And you want your website and your e-newsletters to be responsive, because if it's not responsive, it's very confusing to read. And as you remember, this one has some issues with being responsive. Everything was all over the place because people that are not professionals don't realize that in Mailchimp, and even in website design, sometimes you really have to design the website, or you have to design the actual newsletter, especially newsletters. They have to be designed to be responsive. If they're not, you're going to have problems. So, as you know, the layout, everything is kind of organized in a way where when we go to our mobile devices, everything works well. Well, I hope you appreciate this presentation. And if you need help with your e-newsletters, please don't hesitate to contact Ascadenia Designs. For more information, you can also email us at ascadeniadesigns@gmail.com. Thank you.